How's it going, everyone? It is PC, and I went from reviewing video games to publishing video games to now actually working and developing video games. This is Cookie Invaders, a game that I made by myself, and I am very proud of this. I really am, because I managed to do something that, is fulfilling to me, because I've always wanted to make a video game. I've always wanted to learn. I've always wanted to actually put myself in the developer's shoes and actually work on it. And I'll tell you guys this right now, it is not easy. Because I was struggling at first, and I almost gave up on this project. But I put my foot down, and I said, you know what? I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. So I forced myself to actually work on this and get it finished to the state that it is right now, which I am going to continue updating it a little bit, but I got the first game out, and that's all that matters. And I'll have this linked in the description so that way you guys can play this game as well and let me know what you guys think. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and play this game for you guys, and we're going to go ahead and press enter. So let's get into it. These cookies are bad. So yeah, I basically put cutscenes in this. And, I feel accomplished by doing this. I really do. Because I wanted to try to tell a story here to see if I could. I mean, there's not really much of a story here. I mean, all you need to know is that you are an astronaut and you are flying a cake spaceship, and you're shooting at cookies. And the reason why you're shooting at cookies is because that is the theme of this game, which this game is part of a game jam. Now, for those that don't know what a game jam is, basically you have a few days to work on a game, either by yourself or with a team, and you basically have to make the game exactly tied to the theme of the game jam, or whatever the rules that they have, because there's hundreds, no, thousands of game jams every single day. And, it amazes me. It honestly does, that there are so many dedicated people that are working on games and, trying to build a portfolio for themselves. That way that they could establish themselves and maybe perhaps have a career, at doing this. And I've always been a big supporter for indie games. So if you guys ever consider being part of a game jam, I highly recommend you do, because you're not going to find any better people, to work with than people that participate in game jams. But nevertheless, that's what this game is all about. It's about cookies, and that's the theme, and space. And space, that's another theme of this game. So, anyways, it's time to blast these cookies into the sweet dimension. So, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not the best when it comes to writing a story. I just like designing the game and, then let my head sort of come up with whatever. But anyways, there's a bunch of cookies here to shoot at, and that's all that matters. And now, initially, just to let you guys know, I had a point system here where every 5,000 points, you actually would get an upgrade for your health. You would get additional health, every 5,000 points that you got. But for some reason, the UI I don't know whether it was my coding or something like that. I have no idea. But it fucked everything up. Let's just say that. But there's the game over screen right there. It's adorable pixel art. You know, I love pixel art, by the way. And that didn't take me much time to draw. And, you know, I had a good time drawing it. But yeah, it's basically a Invaders, a Space Invaders clone. It's a space shooter. That's all you need to know. And, you know, you have cookies falling, and, you know, the Oreos, they actually, like the big Oreos, they break into smaller Oreos, which I thought was cute, and, you know, I thought was a great idea, you know, to make each cookie different or have different patterns, you know. And the gingerbread man, they just sway around, you know, they sway around, they don't shoot at you or anything. Initially, they were going to shoot, but, you know, I thought that it made the game a little bit too hard. And that's one of the things I try to focus on, is trying to make the game playable. You know, the first build of this, it was unplayable. Like, you could not, you know, you just could not beat it. And initially it was supposed to be never ending, which, you know, I may actually make an endless mode for this, if you guys want me to. I can make an endless mode to where you can just, you know, shoot at cookies and, you know, just have fun. But whoa, what is going on here? Was this not the game you were expecting? I guess the ruse is up. It's funny you were more concerned about getting scores instead of being concerned with the one you've been helping. Oh well, there are no more cookies now. This is the end for you. And then there's the credits, created by Pirate Canvas. But yeah, that is Cookie Invaders. And to explain the ending, well, I wanted to sort of throw in a little surprise. You know, once you reached, you know, 999,999. So I basically threw that in. And I may actually plan on making a sequel, you know, to sort of, you know, tie the horror into it, because that's sort of the idea that I'm going with, is I want to sort of make a horror space shooter game. But I don't know if this will be it. This will be the case. We won't know until the future, you know, unfortunately. But you never know. I might come back to it and, you know, explore a little bit more on it. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a great time, you know, developing this and making this. Shout out to the Cookie Jams Discord server. You guys are very motivational for me, and, you know, keeping me from not quitting this, because I really wanted to quit. Because I was fighting with the UI and the coding wasn't going good. But you guys, you know, managed to, you know, be there for me and support me and get me through this. But yeah, I made it through my first game. I hope you guys look forward to the future, because this isn't where my journey is going to end. I am going to make more games, and I'll let you guys know. Anyways, this has been PC signing off, and go check out Cookie Invaders. This has been PC signing off. See you guys in the next one.